yeah, 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 yeah. Oh.
We're doing it. I got some good news today. Got a promotion. So that's good. That's exciting. What we're going to be doing is talking about dream scenario because I'm getting super tired of having all these cryptic ass dreams and then seeing stuff on X or YouTube um, that completely pertains to what I'm dreaming about. Like I'm dreaming about these things and then seeing it in social media and people are speaking on it. So I'm going to assume that I'm not the only one here. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to start off by doing some of this. This is pretty good material. It's just stuff to, I guess, limber the joints, so to speak.
That spiral that was over the UK.
Yeah, there's got to be more to it, right?
I saw this person talk about that this is not the first occurrence of seeing a spiral like this. And they documented photos in the sky going back to 1981. But then they compared it to old ancient carvings and drawings that look exactly like it.
Whoa.
Oh my gosh.
Every part of the world, everyone has a drawing of a spiral. Ireland, 3200 BC, famous triple spiral, they called it a triskele, carved into entrance stones, possibly linked to the sun.
Okay. Spirals. Like I feel like people could have just done this. Whatever.
Life cycles and astral journey. And then Scotland, Malta, and Spain. Spirals, megalithic tombs, often pointing inward. Some believe these are symbolic of the journey to the afterlife or altered states of consciousness. So people all over the world since early BC era were drawing these symbols that they were seeing in the sky.
They didn't have an explanation for it, and we still don't, right?
Yeah.
I mean, what are the reason they give? They gave just that. There's no confirmation of what exactly it was, right?
No. But then the Hopi tribe, Native American, they have a lot of these spirals, and it represents the connection between this world and the spirit world.
Wow.
That's what their spiral represented.
If there's no logical explanation, I guess I just got to do more research into it. But
If we asked Ada, she would just say it was the heart of Tafiti.
Yeah,
it does look like it, though, huh?
Have you
ever heard of the Council of 300? Council of 300 is basically what we would call the Illuminati, and it connects directly to the cult of the Black Cube. So this was originally written by Dr. John Coleman in the book called Conspirators Hierarchy, the Story of the Committee of 300. He claims that there's a shadow elite ruling the world behind the scenes, but there's multiple names for them. So it's the Council of 300, also the Hidden Hand, or the Olympians.
Interesting.
300 top-tier individuals that would be royalty, banking, dynasties, and corporate heads, including the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the Windsors, and high-level Vatican officials. This is why people are like, well, this isn't real because there's no record of it. Of course there's no record of it. The ultimate goal of the Committee of 300 is the creation of the one world government.
Yeah.
One thing this Dr. John Coleman writes about is that the Council of 300, they use this thing called the
Hegelian dialectic.
yeah, often reinterpreted as the problem reaction solution mechanism. So it's a mechanism used by the elites. So it's a three-step process. 1, problem, a manufactured crisis, terrorist attack, pandemic, economic collapse. 2, reaction, the public's emotional response. So the public's like, you gotta do something to save us. And then 3 is solution. So the elite's pre-planned solution that wouldn't have been accepted otherwise. An example, surveillance laws, war, lockdowns.
I mean, I hear him. I guess I was hoping for a little bit more material on the Black Cube. I've had my own personal experiences with the Black Cube. I don't know what to think about it. It's perplexing to me because for a while it was a moment in time where I was having dreams where, like, I would be in a house, but the house would be completely destroyed. Like, think Walking Dead or The Last of Us, like end of the world. The building's still standing, but everything is destroyed. And it's always like a grayish blue hue to the dream, like a color filter. I don't know if sepia tone's the right word. It's definitely not grayscale. Like, it's like a blue tinge to the world. Like when they filmed the Upside Down in Stranger Things, like everything was kind of blue. Actually, that's really interesting. Yeah, Stranger Things had fucked up neighborhoods too. But anyway, my personal dream, I'm in this building, I'm in this house. And I'm always wanting to get out, and like I know something's, like I can feel something's wrong, like my senses, my instincts are telling me, oh shit. And I open the door and I'm in a neighborhood, and the neighborhood's like a cul-de-sac. The neighborhood's destroyed, and similar to the thumbnail that's posted for this video, that's kind of what I saw. There was like a not brick, it was a concrete like platform, maybe 5 feet high. And it was a big platform, but on this platform was a black cube, and there were parts of it like I want to say like a more intricate Rubik's cube. Yeah, there were parts of it that were protruding, parts of it that looked a little sharp, parts of it that were retracted. And it was just sitting there. It wasn't moving or anything, but I noticed it was like a megalithic structure. It was big. I remember a vibrating, like it just felt like that area was humming, and it was warm. I walked away from it because I didn't know what the hell it was. I'm like, it was very quick. I saw it and I put my hands up and felt what was coming off of that area, and I just turned around. The dream continued, and I'm walking down the street. I'm walking down the street and I'm looking into the houses. I'm in the middle of the street and I'm looking left, I'm looking right. All the houses are destroyed with no lights on, black, but I see something in there. The best way I can describe it is like there has been several illustrations of what a possible skinwalker could look like. Very long humanoid features. the forearms, for example, had to have been like 3-4 feet, like super long. That's just the forearms, the whole body was long. It had like scraggly hair, like in the movie Mama, that ghost that had like matted, thin, scraggly hair. And there was no face. I could see like the shape of ribs and the shape of vertebrae and like the elbows and long fingernails. The body was all black. The skin was all black, kind of like probably something from Insidious, those creatures that, like in the first couple of Insidious movies, that dude that was down there and his skin was all black or whatever, he was just like a different color, like that. So this creature is in a house, super long features. I didn't see a mouth or a nose or ears, but the eyes look like, most recently, I went to go see Sinners. And the way those vampires' eyes were, where it was like dark, but there was a little tiny red circle. It was like that. But they weren't red, they were gold. Piercing gold. And so it scares me, and I keep walking. Like, I never stop. I just keep walking throughout the dream. Excuse me. And I see these things, or this thing, and I keep walking. I'm like, oh shit. And my butterflies are going more and more in my stomach. I'm more unsettled. And every other house, I see it, and it's like continuing. It's like going from one room through the walls, through the hallways, through the bedrooms, and it just goes like beelines through the property, the destroyed property that I'm looking at. It's not like I see it in a room and it goes through a doorway and appears down a different hallway. No, it goes straight across the window, through the wall, through the fucked up door that's open and destroyed, through the wall again, into the next room. It never passes from property to property. Like, it doesn't go out of the house, cross a property line into another house. I just keep walking, and I notice it in every other house. It's continuing. And that's my black cube dream experience. I've had several other unexplainable dreams, but we'll continue on for the moment.
You guys want to hear something terrifying? The prophecy of the popes.
Oh boy.
This book in the Vatican archives predicted every single pope from 1143 all the way to our current pope. But
Dude,
the scary thing is, after Pope Francis, the last one, it just says Judgment Day.
Oh gosh.
It literally ends after Pope Francis?
Yes. The creepiest thing, inside St. Paul's Basilica, bordering the whole inner sanctuary, is a picture of every single pope. But what's weird is that there's only a certain amount of markers where you can put a picture. There's one left after Pope Francis. They have always said once that last slot is filled, it will be the end of the world. What he predicted, the time it took to go from the first pope that he wrote about to the halfway mark was 422 years. And he's saying from the middle one to the end, another 422 years will be the...
Tears just started pouring out of my right eye. What the fuck? That was weird.
end of the world. If you do 422 in the middle pope, which was 1585, that year is 2027.
Dang!
It's even weirder. Pope John the 23rd, he said that the end of the world would happen 2,000 years plus Christ's life. So that adds up to 2027 as well. You guys want to hear something terrifying? The prophecy of the popes.
Oh boy.
Speaking of the ancient ruins in the Amazon, I really want to talk about the Olmecs. So the Olmecs, they were the civilization that were thousands of years before the Mayans.
Oh my gosh.
But even like the Mayans and the Aztecs talked about them as ancient people.
As their ancestors.
They like discovered these giant stone heads. They don't look like South American people. Their features resemble a lot of like Africa and Asia.
Interesting.
And yeah, they think that they are the first in Mesoamerica to have a written language.
Wow.
Which would predate what we know thousands of years.
Yeah.
They did floating gardens.
Oh, cool.
So like on their lakes and stuff, they would literally have farms that were floating.
Bro, so
Like
neat.
really advanced stuff.
Yeah. That sounds awesome. Do you think they ever had a time back then where they can communicate with other people across it?
I think so. The Olmecs, I think it was 700 or 600 BC, they just disappeared.
Wow.
Gone. And this was before any conquistadors, anything. So like even the Aztecs and the Mayans, they had legends about them, but they're like, we have no idea
What happened to them?
what happened to them. It was just empty cities.
Wow.
Yeah. Speaking of free meals, though, do you know Bill Gates is one of the few to own a McDonald's gold card
Pardon?
where he can eat at any McDonald's in the world for free?
Wait a second. Isn't he like the health guy?
Also, isn't he like the richest man ever? And why does he deserve a gold card?
Take it away.
This is what it says. Bill Gates, the billionaire co-founder of Microsoft, holds a rare McDonald's gold card that lets him enjoy free meals at any McDonald's around the globe. This card is part of an ultra-exclusive program reserved for a handful of high-profile individuals who receive a lifetime complimentary access. Warren Buffett also has one.
This is the new Illuminati.
Probably.
Probably.
I mean, it's got to mean something, right?
They're hiding it in plain sight.
Why are they giving it to those people that are so rich, though?
Maybe it's like that KFC conspiracy where it's humans. And the gold card gets you first access to the fresh meat.
Looks
like meat's back on the menu, boys. That's what they're. What's so creepy is that the North Pole in that old ancient map, there's more to it. So there's this satellite image from the ESA 7 satellite. This was in 1968. It was like the first visual of Earth via satellite.
What the heck?
Okay, well then this was from Google Earth.
It's the hole
What in
to
the
the center of the Earth.
And then this was released by NASA, I believe, 80s or 90s. You're not allowed to fly over the North
Restricted.
Pole. But Admiral Byrd did. Apparently he had his secret diary. And then when he died, his son got it. And then when his son was trying to publish the stuff in it, he died. But Admiral Byrd talks about when he went to explore the North Pole, there was an entry to inner Earth, like hollow Earth. And he describes it as being in the Earth, lush green land beyond the ice, mammoth-like creatures, a technology-advanced civilization, and meeting with a being called the Master. But apparently this Master gave Admiral Byrd this message.
You see, we have never interfered before in your race's wars of barbarity, but now we must, for you have learned to tamper with a certain power that is not for man, namely the atomic energy. You see, our culture and science is many thousands of years beyond your race. You, my son, must return to the surface of the world with this message.
Cool.
And then he died. The U.S. government has a declassified document of where they're actively searching for Noah's Ark.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow.
On Mount Ararat. This document says from 1974 to 1982, apparently a general used a U-2 spy plane to photograph Ararat. And they had these pictures and they said that the proof was inconclusive. But then all these scientists and stuff like asking to declassify the photos.
Yeah.
And they refused to. They were like, yeah, you're not allowed to get those photos. Just know that it's inconclusive. Like,
Yeah.
we don't think it was Noah's Ark. And they're
Then
like-
release the photos.
and they're like, okay, well, can we just look then? No.
No, you can't.
Sorry. There is a story about giants in Death Valley. These two amateur archaeologists, they heard these legends regarding this ancient underground city where giants used to roam. So these two dudes, Dr. Bruce and Dr. Daniel, they were just exploring all through Death Valley and they found this really, really small opening of a cave. So they went down in. They said it was polished stone, like it was perfect. And one of the first caverns that they found, they call it the Hall of Giants. And it was basically these preserved mummies of these giants, hundreds of them, ranging from like 8 to 12 feet tall.
Wow.
Just weird stuff. And then another room that they went into apparently had these preserved, mummified, extinct animals. They had dinosaurs in it, saber-toothed tigers, mammoths. But it gets crazier. They said that they explored it for a total of 15 years. Didn't want to tell anyone about it. So they got all these investors together and they wanted to start a company called Amazing Explorations. He brought these investors to the caves to see it. And they're like, whoa, what the heck?
What
This
the
is
heck?
insane. But it was very secretive. So like only Dr. Russell knew the exact entrance of this cave. Shortly after that, an article came out talking about this underground labyrinth, ancient giants, all this stuff. And he said, I'm going to do a press conference. I'm going to bring artifacts from the cave and we're going to expose the whole thing.
Yeah.
On his way.
That's definitely interesting. Here's what we're going to do. Come on, people. Let's take a trip. Okay. So I heard that there are black sites in the Grand Canyon, places you are not allowed to go. Hmm. All right. I'm using my touchscreen because my mouse was not doing it for me. I heard that there's actually spots where the government is posted up out here, preventing people from going into certain regions. Hmm. Let's see if we can't get a little more research on this. Black site, Grand Canyon GPS coordinates. Hmm. All right. Google was not very helpful when it came to that, honestly. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this over here. Okay. I know I'm probably front and center on this right now, so that's not what you guys tuned in for. I'm going to go ahead and share this screen. We're about to bust up this. Show me the coordinates. That's not what I wanted. What the hell? What am I looking at? What the fuck is it? I mean, I wouldn't call it like extraordinary, but okay. We got some random houses out here. This is not anywhere I thought it would be. What the fuck am I looking at? Silly. Hmm. That's concerning. Zoom out. Oh, well, no shit. Of course. What the fuck is this? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hard to say. That's either a tremendous amount of blood or motor oil. That's actually kind of sketch. No street view data is available, huh? Huh? You won't let me check this sketchy shit out? Could be blood. I have heard people talk several times about the Grand Canyon being off limits and men in black approaching um, people, telling them to get away, and 90% of the Grand Canyon is off limits.
Be arrested. Many people believe that there are Egyptian and Buddhist artifacts hidden within the Grand Canyon. There are many structures within a 200-mile radius of the Grand Canyon. Structures that don't look like anything else in America. There's also a report in the 1908 Arizonan Gazette. An article reported that immense riches were found in a tomb in the Grand Canyon. The tomb had Egyptian hieroglyphs and even a sarcophagus with a mummy inside. There are also decades-old rumors of an Isis temple hidden within the Grand Canyon. The areas in which these things are said to be found are heavily guarded. Why are they guarding them? This could just be to protect ecological sites, but by doing this, they only raise suspicion.
I don't know about that. I got this new, like, it's a typewriter style keyboard, and it's got like LED lights in it and stuff, but there's spaces in between each key. Like, it literally looks like a typewriter keyboard, and I'm not used to that. So, Grand Canyon National Park, Bitter Springs, Page. Glen Canyon. It goes from the Grand Canyon to the Glen Canyon. Okay. This has got to be where all those people go on the fucking jet skis through the Grand Canyon, because I see those videos occasionally. It looks pretty sick, but that's a long trail. just to get to this random spot. Brown's bottom. I thought I saw something. It was obviously nothing. Okay. I don't see any single spot, and I know I'm not going through the entire length of the Grand Canyon or the Colorado River, but I don't really see any spots where the fuck are the men in black gonna post up? I mean, what are they gonna like drive up here? Like in that spot over here? Where would they pull up from? Bobby's Hole. Hmm. It's kind of opening up over here. Yo, the twists and the turns. My guy, this is pretty. I mean, it's pretty. That's interesting. What the fuck is that? That looks like some sort of runoff. Is that smoke? Why would that be there? Hmm. Does anybody have any ideas where we can get this? Hmm. Where would that be though? Like, I don't know. They're um what am I looking at here? That looks like it could be it. Now, I don't know how the hell I found that because it's all a bunch of wavy bullshit, but it definitely looks like a pretty obvious structure. Let me see. Oh, fuck. We're zooming in, boys. Oh, shit. Okay, so who the fuck walked over here and built this shit? And what was it for? Do we know? I mean, there's a visitor center and all that other stuff, but I mean, is it legit? Look at that. There's a piece of wood in this fucking clay here. Darius Nabbers. Appreciate that, Darius. Appreciate that, bro. All right, let me go ahead and see. Let's get it from there. Whoa, 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 dude. We're in the mountain? We're in the mountain. This is what it looks like. Now, why the fuck would they build this? What was, I mean, what was stuff like this for? Huh. I mean, I know there's like freeways and roads there now, but I mean, look at the terrain on that. There's just water, arguably, you don't know how much you're going to get. It looks like a lot of that is dried out, but there is green. I can't imagine there would be a lot of like life and good hunting there. If you were trying to nomadically live in that area, yes, you could get away by hiding under the rocks. Here, the water definitely would help. What the fuck are you going to eat out here? I mean, look at this. What the hell? Hmm. I also heard that Arizona has a lot of like urban legends. Something about a lost Dutchman's mine. I don't know. I've heard some pretty scary stories about that actually, but let's see. Let's see if I can't find it. There's been reports of a skunk ape out here. young man parked his car. I guess his girl just dumped him, if I remember correctly. He parked his car somewhere out here just to get away, and he started hearing noises, like really loud grunting noises. Now, javelina, some other animal maybe grunting. I don't know why, but there's possible explanations for that. What there is no explanation for is whatever it was scared him, so he got into his car. And he got into his car, and then whatever was out there started to throw his shit. All of his camping stuff at his car. And it scared the crap out of him. He's getting barraged in his car. All of his things are hitting his stuff. And then it starts apparently tackling the car or hitting its body up against the car somewhere in this area. And he's terrified. It's fucking around the campsite for a while, and then it leaves. He's sitting there holding himself, super scared of what's happening. And then he wakes up, and then he looks at all his stuff. Of course, it's everywhere. And his car is destroyed, slashed up. Dents as well, obviously, from, like I said, it sounded like something was banging up against it. And I'm sure if you have a camper stove or whatever thrown at your car, it's going to dent it. It's not going to slash it. So there were those things to consider. This is the Lost Dutchman's mine. Apparently there's gold treasure out this way. No one's been able to find it, except for one lost Dutchman who found it and didn't want to tell anybody and marked the site. And never told anybody. And the urban legend continues. Where is the Lost Dutchman's mine? And where is the gold? Rainwater made this path. That's the thing, though. Like, if I was a prospector, and I don't know much about that, but if I was, from everything that I've seen, they go panning for gold in the running water, right? Those spots. Huh. That's interesting. Might be good for panning, I guess is what I was getting at. Providing there was water. It's obviously desert. talking about whenever the Lost Dutchman was alive and kicking, of course. Could it have been a time with running water where things were eroding, gold was a flowing? I don't know. I don't know. Lost Dutchman State Park. Interesting. Well, yeah, I guess I'm going to do a better job of collecting a list of black sites and then go over that because I don't want to keep scrolling around in the desert. So, for those of you who, were listening, I appreciate it. It's been real. I'll pick this up again.